Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, for your key to the week, you have the Strength card. It is all about finding that gentle strength within you. Everybody knows that Capricorn has strength. You've got determination in buckets and spades. But this week it's about using the gentle power of your heart, that persistent energy that you have that's going to get you to where you'd like to be. And also for you opening up about what it is that you truly want. This is the week to find your silent dignity. It's not a week for bold, big shows of expressions of stuff. You don't need any of that. There's no gimmicks this week. It's literally the power of your heart space and the power of who you are at the deepest level. That is going to get you through this week. So, you know, whether this is about making yourself vulnerable or revealing what it is that you truly want at the heart of who you are, that is the way that you get forward this week. If you haven't seen it, please check out the weekly general. I think it will explain so much. For your actions and options, you have the Five of Swords. So this week you are willing to say what needs to be said, only because you've got the Strength card there. This looks like maybe somebody that you love, maybe somebody that you care about. You're having to find a way to deliver some news to somebody that might be a bit inflammatory. It might be a bit irritating. It may very well be that what you have to say causes some sort of maybe not necessarily a rift, but it might not necessarily be received in the best way. It may very well be this week that you are expressing something to somebody that you love, to somebody that you care about, that really makes them think in a different view. Think in a different view. And it could be that this week you are maybe something that you've bitten your tongue on. This week you're not going to be in that position, so you're going to have to find an even measured way to say what it is that you need to say. Now usually you can just go in and be Capricorn, right? Subtle as a brick, bam, this is what needs to be done, this is what needs to be said, and this is what I'm going to tell you. Whereas this week it looks like you're trying to find a diplomatic way of saying what needs to be said. Even if it's that you're calling somebody out, this week you're finding a way to collectively win the battle so that you can all win the war. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like you're saying, you know what, you're not my enemy, but you need to hear this, or you need to know this. And that's a really powerful place to be. All right, yeah, so for your communications and conversations, you've got the Star card, right? So this is great. It does suggest that whatever difficult conversation you have to have this week, you will find the answer or the resolution, and it will bring you closer together. So this could be a family member, it could be a significant other, it could be one of your own children. It looks like you're having a challenging conversation this week. Maybe one of your children or a loved one is saying something to you this week that is that's challenging to hear. Maybe it's not what you expected, or maybe even what you wanted to hear, but it is something that you are going to have to find a way to navigate, right? Excuse me. And because you've got the Star card here, this kind of says that not only will you be able to navigate this, but you will find peace, you will also find a resolution, and there is hope for you mending whatever rift is created from the conversation that needs to be had. Be open to wherever it is that conversations take you this week, because while they might take some twists and turns that make you kind of go, ooh, you know what, you wince, the resolution to it could be truly beautiful and actually very life affirming for both of you or all parties involved. For your money and materials, you've got the Ten of Wands, right? It looks like this week there's going to be a resolution to a debt. Maybe you are paying something off, maybe something that you yeah, it looks like you're finishing a debt, or maybe a payment plan of some sort. Maybe something that you thought you were gonna do a payment plan for, you end up buying outright. Maybe there's an energy that comes up where you're like, do you know what, I thought I was going to do this one way, but I'm just going to do it the easy way. It looks like financially this week you're taking the financial hit now so that you don't have to deal with the financial hit later, which is a great energy to have, right? For your physical health, got to look after your lower back this week, all right? Yeah, look after your lower back. And for your home and environment, this could see you really starting to think about your long-term plans as to where it is that you live, and maybe thinking about, right, okay, you know what, eventually I'm going to want to move to somewhere else. Interesting energy, right? This is really, really interesting for a lot of you, actually. For your love and relations, you have the Eight of Cups. It looks like for those of you that are partnered, for some of you that are partnered, it looks like a connection that you've had for some time that you know hasn't been going right. This week may very well be coming to an end, and it's going to be one of those things, you know, like the goodbye is always hard and it's very sad, but you know in the long run it's the best thing for you and for the other party. If you are in a relationship like that or a connection like that, you will know, right? You'll know that I'm speaking for you, and this message is for you. For those of you that are single, this is about really acknowledging the relationship that you've been in, and for the toxicity that it carried, and for also for the energy that it no longer has for you, right? You know, when we're in something and we want to save it, something has a certain kind of energy, but when it's done and we know that it's done, that's when we kind of move beyond it and say, right, okay, now I need to address the hurts and the, you know, I need to heal from it. And the fact that you've got the Ten of Wands, it looks like a lot of you are either moving away from a specific place that you know and love, or you are planning to move away from a place that you know and love. And also, a lot of you, it looks like you're going your separate ways from somebody, which is, you know, very interesting energy. Either which way though, considering the message that you had for the monthly, this is actually quite an easy energy considering. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week as best as you possibly can. Be open, allow your heart space and the communication and the conversation to take you where it may. This stuff I actually feel like is on a familial level. This stuff, like I said, I feel like is probably more on a personal relationship level. They can be interchangeable, you know, you never know. Maybe this message is for your personal relationship and this message is for your familial relationship. Sometimes we have to break ties with family in order to save ourselves a lot of hurt and a lot of hassle. I know for myself, I went through a period where I never spoke to a part of my family for 5 years. And while it was very hard and very challenging, I grew a lot in that time, and so did they. And I think when we came back together, we respected and loved each other more for it. All right. So sometimes that energy is needed. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I will see you soon.